Alrighty, this is the time of the week again where HOR is back. And this week, as you can see, it's Spain in Barcelona. And thankfully there isn't a sprint this week. Next sprint is going to be in Great Britain, so that's going to be pain. But yeah, Spain, a good track recently since it has got rid of the final chicane, and that was ruining the track. Now it's two fast right-handers, so the track is nice finally, and yeah, main overtaking opportunities, of course, turn 1, turn 4. If you get a good exit out of turns 1 and 2, you could go into 3 as well. Turn 5 as well, pretty good one. Then turn 10 as well. Just going into that third sector. That's a pretty good one as well. But mainly you're going to see overtakes into turn 1. That's going to be the main spot where you're going to see that, because that's straight before turn 1 is their place Hubu Bear? What? I don't get what do you mean by that? But yeah, before turn 1 there's a massive DRS straight where you can just easily overtake the car in front of you, actually. 5 tenths behind, should be a pretty easy overtake into turn 1, should be pretty nicely in front. 6 tenths would be as well. Place, you know. That. I was confused. What do you mean by Hubu Bear? I don't know if they're... Okay, we going way too far, way too quickly. I don't know if there's a spot, honestly. There's one Haas and one Ferrari. I think one of those Haas's is gonna go to... well, to someone, I don't remember. It was... well, personally, I don't know. I'm gonna just say it like that. But yeah. Now we go into the standings and race results from a previous race. Previously we had a sprint as well in Austria, and that was won by Wieselbor after his penalty got taken away. His 10-second penalty, I'm just gonna try and find that. Yeah, Wieselbor has had 10 seconds removed from his final race time after he got an unfair 10 seconds for allegedly overtaking Chesney off track. And so he got that sprint race to himself. Then Sir Nicolai second, Vampi third. So an all-out Italian podium in the sprint. And in the main race, Paul took a surprising victory in Austria from 8th on the grid to finish first. And won in front of Wieselbor, in front of Trent, in front of Clipsy, in front of Younger Boy, Alex, Taffy, Froggle, Chesney Riz, and Sir Nicolai rounded off the top 10, and then it's Zink, Laurie, and Fresh who is rounding off the drivers who finished the race, and then it's gonna be Wave, Vampy, Drilla, Tom, Chardinho, Mattia, and Gabby who didn't finish the race. Drivers in the driver standings, with Wieselbor having a very good weekend and Vampy having not so good of a weekend, means that he's back on the top step of the standings, and with a pretty good margin, 15 points in front of Vampy. Wieselbor 62 points, Vampy 47, Clipsy as well with 16 points compared to Vampy 6. He's 1 point behind Vampy. So Clipsy, at the moment, first 3 races have been pretty decent from him. have been pretty decent, consistent as well. And so he's in P3, Sir Nikolai 4th, still a reserve. He's 4th with 30 points. Then Yenga Boy 5th, 28. Pole 6th with 26 points. 1 point from Imola. Drilla 7th, 18. Trent 8th with 18. Alex 9th with 14. And Ricky 10th with 12 points. In the constructors, V-Carb are in front of McLaren, 11 points. V-Carb 71 points, McLaren 60. Advent as well, McLaren has had a very good start to the season. A very good point score as well from Austria, but the top scoring team was a V-Carb. And they're on top of the chart as well. Haas with not so good of a weekend. Last time out, Haas are in 3rd, 53 points. Williams 4th with 46. Red Bull 5th with 40. Mercedes 6th with 34, thanks to Paul winning the race. 7th is Alpine, 29. And then a big drop from Alpine to Sauber with 5 points. Aston Martin as well, 5 points. And Ferrari still without points from the first 3 opening races. This is a bit depressing well, it's a bit depressing for the prancing horses at the moment. And as we have started qualifying here in the Spanish city of Barcelona, Drilla out there on wets, so interestingly drifting. All drivers were out on track, but now Drilla has gone back into the pit. So let's go with TLW on his lap. Yellow sector 3 through turn 12. That was one of the Red Bulls. That was Trent out there. Yeah, Drilla had a quali ban. Yeah, so I forgot about that as well. Drilla, the only one to be having a quali ban for this race. TLW first sector 21.685, so pretty decent first sector at least for, well, he's going to be fastest unless he's going to invalidate here. But we'll see if he's going to invalidate it. This track isn't really a track that you invalidate that much. It isn't a track that you really invalidate that much. Reserves, let's just talk quickly about reserves. Consola in the Sauber. We have Alemine, the newcomer to the league in the Alpine. And I think that is it actually in terms of reserves. TLW goes fastest 1:12.265, so not really a fast time. Consola, can he beat that? Yes, he can by just a little bit faster than TLW, but Chimp went fastest, but then Chaldinho has gone fastest, 11.690. Now the McLaren of Clips is going to go second, 11.963. Then a load of cars are going to finish their times, and that's wave up into P2, 11.846. Taffy 7th, 12.495. That went slowest time out of them all. Chesney Reyes goes 8th, 12.412. Vizelbor second, 3 thousandths behind Chaldinho, 11.693 by Vizelbor. Then a Red Bull of Froggle is going to finish his time. Where is he going to finish his time? He goes P9, 112.393. Then Vumpy is going to finish his time, and he goes P1, 11.654 from Vumpy. And Williams is going to cross on, and that's Yenga Boy finishing his time 11.9594 thousandths in front of Clipsy. Then we have CLW going into the pits. There's still Alex, it seems like to be on a lap, 50.895. So the second sector isn't really a good one, let's just say. Chesney is looking like he's going to finish his time as well. Consola is looking like he's going to start yet another lap. Chesney, where is he going to finish his time? Dead last, 12.7548. And Alex P8, 12.210 between Consola and Chimp. Then we have Alemine starting his lap, but is he gonna get blocked by Chimp? Chimp's like... he's on a lap. Is Chimp on a lap? It seems like Chimp is on a lap. Alemine probably doesn't know this. He's probably fuming in his home. But... well, he doesn't know that Chimp is as well on a lap. He is pushing. So, and there goes Alemine. Chimp did invalidate. Chimp did invalidate on his lap, so that's why he let him through. Alemine went wide, and that has costed him, well, a lap, being blocked through the first and pretty much the whole second sector before turn 9, then going wide there. Lucky to not invalidate, and Alemine is going to go P10, 12.263, 2000s in front of TLW. Yeah, that wasn't, I guess, miscommunication. Well, not really miscommunication, just Alemine thought that Chimp would go into the pit, but actually Chimp started yet another lap. Chesney Riz has finished his time, 12.051. Then is anyone else gonna is anyone else on a lap? Alemine isn't on a lap. And as well Trent is in the Red Bull. I forgot about that. Anyone on a lap? Chimp seems to be on a lap. 11 thousandths down his time through the first sector. Second sector, is he down? No, he is up on his time by 1.5 tenths. 1.5 tenths, that would mean that he be in front of Chesney Riz, back up to P7. At least for now. Can you find a little bit more time through the second sector? Through turn 13 and the final corner, turn 14, easy flat, at least in qualifying. And Chimp is going to finish his time to stay in P8, actually, 12.090. Alex is on a lap. Clipsy is starting a lap, but let's go with Alex, at least for now. First sector, he was up on his time, almost a tenth, 900ths up on his time. Alex through the second sector, what's his improvement going to be? It's 1.25 of a tenth through the second sector. That would put him up into P8, actually. Damn, already someone on the HOR Twitch channel already regulating the language in the chat, I guess. Alex goes right behind Clipsy at 2,000 behind Clipsy, 11.965, and yeah, just behind Clipsy. Clipsy's up on his time by a tenth, but he's abandoned his lap. Seems like Chimp going very slowly. Yeah, he's run out of fuel. TLW through the first sector on his flying lap. Well, he is up on his time, but he is very low amount of ERS. Vampy has started his lap now. Taffy, no, he's not on his lap. Consular's on his lap. Clipsy is gonna be finishing his lap, but let's go with Vampy. Trent actually has gone second. I missed him completely. 11.663 by Trent. Going right in between Cialdino and Vampy. Vampy, is he going to be improving to the first sector? Yes, he is by a tenth of a second through the first sector. That's pretty impressive through the first sector, but it can be just that he burned more ERS through the first sector. Now through turn 7 and 8, and then up the hill into 9th. And then it is going to be into turn 10. What's his second sector? He's still the same, roughly about the same time. He has gained right about 1.5 tenths through the second sector. And now this third sector, 2 final corners, just using all of your ERS, remaining ERS. And is he going to improve? And by how much? He's going to improve by 79 thousandths, and he's extended his provisional pole position lead to 11.575. So that's a very good time, at least for now. from Vampy Clipsy. Where is he gonna go? He's gonna stay in P7. He didn't actually improve his time. TLW not on his lap. Consuela not on his lap. Alemany, he's down a 10th through the first sector, but it can be as well due to maybe him getting a slipstream from Chimp. And now through this second sector, he's gonna gain a bit more time, since now he doesn't have to worry about anyone in front of him. He has got clean air, well, a lot of clean air. And now second sector should be up on his time, and yes he is, but only 1.5 tenths through the second sector. A bit up than 1.5 tenths, but he's still got a lot of ERS to his use. And well, are we back to the... Oh, the green line has been fixed. And Alemany is going to cross the line to go P12, 12.099. It seems like the green line, the usage per lap, has been fixed, which I didn't even notice that it was fixed. I noticed that it was bugged, like you would have doubled the amount of deployment per lap, but I guess it has been fixed so that it's the same how it was before. I don't know, I haven't been playing lately F1, or I haven't had anything. Visible is back into the session. I must have missed that he left the session, probably disconnection. Lovely game as well from the Codys. Paul, who got his first win, probably of tier 1 career, is only down in 14th at the moment, so not really looking good for Paul at the moment, in terms of the fact that he won last race, and now he's down in 14th. Is he up on his time? Yes, he is by a 10th. Shiznir is up on his time, but stays 9th. Then, let's see, is that going to be Yenga Boy? Is he going to improve on his time? Through the finish line, and he just about doesn't improve on his time. 14,000 down his time. Consuela goes up to P11, 12.053. That's Chaldino starting a lap, probably. Yes, that is. Then Wave is going to finish his time. He's down on his lap by a 10th. And is he going to gain a bit more time through the third sector? Yes, he does. And he does go in front of Yenga Boy 5th, 11.744. Chaldino off the track on the exit of turn 2 into turn 3. So that's his lap done. Then Paul has improved on his time, but only 64,000, and he stays 14th at the moment. Well, not really good for Paul as of right now in Spain. Alex has started his lap. Yeah, from P1 to P12, it's only 6 tenths, and that's going to be always like that. Well, it's even from P1 down to P14, well, P13, and it's just over 5 tenths. So that's pretty crazy as well. Seems like Alex has... well, he did actually improve on his time previous lap, it seems like. Trent is... Trent out on track. Chaldino going into the pits. We have this lovely camera of Visible, or actually not seeing him. Oh, there we go, a bit of his top. No one actually on a flying lap, surprisingly. Alex has pulled out of his lap, and Paul, well, he's on his in lap. So, a rare sight of no one being actually on a lap in short qualifying. It's pretty weird. Usually you would see that in like full qualifying formats with Q1, Q2, Q3, mainly Q3. But I guess we don't see that yet. Alex is going to start his second lap. Into turn 1 and into turn 2. Had to check my phone a bit. Yeah. First sector, is he up on his time through the first sector? Just down his time, 12,000 down his time. Trent as well on his lap. So let's look into his first sector. Can he improve his first sector? He's down his time as well by 24 thousandths, but that first sector is pretty much only massive straights and then 2 corners really. Then we go back to Alex. Is he gonna improve his second sector time? Is he gonna improve? Yes, he is by 0.2 of a second through the second sector. So at the moment, that would put him close behind Wave at the moment in P6. Trent is gonna cross that second sector split. Can he improve on his time? No, he isn't. He's 10th down in time. Visible is as well on his lap, but let's look at Alex. Can he further improve on his time? No, he arrives to the finish line and he does go P6, 11.759 by Alex. Vumpy is gonna start his lap. Then we're gonna have Trent finishing his lap, and he stays second with the same exact time. He did gain through the third sector, but in the end, doesn't improve his time. Visible, he's up on his time by 0.2 of a second. He could be going for a provisional pole position. Of course, Vumpy is still on his lap. He's on his lap through the first sector. He's not on his lap, actually. Visible, can he go provisional pole position? Yes, he can, and he absolutely destroys Vumpy's time by 0.2. 11.361. Like I said, 0.2 in front of Vumpy and 0.3 in front of Trent. What's a lovely lap by Visibor. Then next we're gonna have well, there's gonna be a lot of drivers who are starting their laps. There's TLW, there's as well, yeah, there's gonna be Console starting his lap very late, but there's as well plenty of drivers who are on their laps at the moment. Well, who Vumpy, no, he's not on a lap. Well, TLW is at least on a lap. Anyone else further up on their laps? Taffy is on a lap, seems like, but he goes wide into turn 8. On the exit of turn 7 into turn 8, he's gone a bit wide, he's gonna lose a bit of time. Chesney has retired, so he's gonna be down in P17. Taffy, he's up by, well, got him. Almost 2/10 up on his time, but that's still gonna be, well, behind pole, just about into a Froggle, and he invalidates on the exit of turn 12 into turn 13. So unless he can somehow pull off an improvement of a 10th, well, it's going to be pretty unlikely from him. Cialdino improving his time to go P3, 11.657, and that's the best that he can do. Trent is in the pit, so he's done with his qualifying as well. Vumpy is up on his time by a 10th through the second sector, but he would need to find a second 10th through his lap. Wave goes P3, 2,000 in front of his own teammate, 11.655. Clips is done with his time. Yingboy is as well done with his time, but there's still Vumpy, who can take away Visibor's pole position, and he does take Vumpy's Visibor's pole position by 31 thousandths. 11.330. Vumpy is on provisional pole position. Wave is done. Cialdino is done. Trent is done. Pole up into P6 from P14. 11.695. Alex P7 at the moment. There's still Console on a lap. Taffy technically is on a lap as well. Can Taffy even improve on his time? Yes, he does, but he only goes, well, he stays 16th. And Console, can he further improve on his time? Yes, he does, and he goes P10, just about in front of Alemine. By 0.02 of a second, goes in front of mine, 11.882. But Vumpy on pole position in Spain. Visilborg P2, Wave P3, Cialdino P4, Trent P5, Paul P6, Alex P7, Yingboy P8, Calypso P9, and Console in P10. And that's the top 10. And then is Alemine, Chesney Riz, TLW, Chimp, Froggle, Taffy, Chesney, and Drilla. And that's the order for the race, the Spanish race. Thankfully, there's no sprint. But yeah, Vumpy and Visilborg, the two the main rivals of the season, and the main contenders for the championship, on the front row. And let's see, the former teammates as well of season 6. Let's see what they can do. But first, let me take off my hoodie first. it was getting a bit hot in that hoodie, but yeah. The top two of Vampy and Visible are close, and then 310s between Visible and Wave, and then after that gets a bit closer, especially from P3 down to P6. Only about 400s between P3, 4, 5, and 6. And then after that gets a bit bigger, but still the gaps are within a tenth. But the biggest gap is going to be seen at the top. And yeah, let's see. Strategy-wise should be pretty similar. Hard mediums, medium hards. Probably medium hards. Since the undercut is so powerful in this game that... Jesus Christ. If you're trying to pull off hard medium, then you really need to push on the mediums like crazy. And that's the only option. You need to push on them. You need to push. You cannot relax on them. Unless you're in the lead with, I don't know, a few seconds in front of the next guy, then it's fine, of course. Or if you're dead last, like 30 seconds behind it as well, you can just drive. But yeah, other than that, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and it's gonna be lights out. Now, when we go here in this Spanish Grand Prix, Vampy doesn't get a good start. Initial one, yes. And is he going to cut off Visibor? No, he doesn't. He stays in his line. Visibor is going to... Well, can send it down. And he does send a half one. Visibor on the softs, actually, I saw there. And yes, he is on the softs. Yellow's behind, and that Chesney Racer already spun on the exit of turn 1 and into turn 2. And yeah, Vampy in the race lead, and Visibor out of the Grand Prix just like that. With Alex off-road, and that's a VSC deployed already just into that second sector we entered, and there's already a VSC. Yengaboy out of the Grand Prix. Alex was involved in that as well. I highly doubt that it was only Alex involved in there with Yengaboy. There was probably someone else, someone like Clipsy, TLW, maybe Consuela, because, well, the closest one that they were there. But Yengaboy, he's gonna... Well, no, actually, it's Chesney Rees who is the lobby host. But anyways, Taffy gets a 10-second first position with Froggle as well. But at the top, nothing much changed. Of course, Yengaboy out of the Grand Prix. But most of the drivers out on have started on the mediums. But 2 drivers have started on the softs, and that's Visibor and Froggle. But Froggle goes into the pits immediately, so it's gonna be only Visibor on them softs at the moment. Only Visibor on the softs. Froggle onto the hards. And yeah, pretty aggressive strategy from Visibor, and we have the DRS enabled sign, and there we go. Paul already overtaking Trent up to P5. There's, well, I see Alamine trying his way through. I think he's overtaking Chimp, I think. But there were some overtakes made, I saw, just after the VSC has been turned off. But DRS has been enabled. Does Vampy have to... Yeah, he has ERS. I thought he didn't. I thought he deployed already all of his ERS for the lap. Meanwhile, behind, Trent is losing further places. He spins, or was that Alemine? That was Alemine actually half spinning, and he loses 2 places. Well, actually 3 to Chimp, Drilla, and Chesney. But yeah, Trent almost lost his place to Clipsy, but then he loses it now. Clipsy just went through him, but Trent... Okay, Trent has some connection issues, it seems like. Wi-Fi issues. He's lagging a bit. But Visibor, in the meantime, takes the lead of the Grand Prix on them softs. He needs to be running away like this. Trent seems to be very laggy. It's... yeah, he's very laggy at the moment, so if Clipsy is gonna actually overtake Trent, then it might be just... Well, if he's gonna overtake Trent, then it could be just lag. But anyways, Constella back in the pits once again for a front wing change. might have been the case that they actually didn't change his front wing, but from a pretty good position, aka P9, down to P17 and dead last, and very much dead last at the moment. Me not behind Visible, a whole ass DRS train down to Alex, at least for now. Maybe a couple of laps later then the DRS will break down, but Visible, of course, on themselves, he has to be pushing, but he can get a very lovely undercut on everyone. Vampis is gonna take the lead of the Grand Prix into turn 1. Yes, he does. Wave stays behind. Meanwhile, behind anyone going for overtakes, it seems like Alex is trying to go on Chesney, and he does get it on Chesney, and he's opposite P12 in front of Chesney. Taffy a bit further back down. Taffy doesn't seem to have any pace at the moment. Frago, Chesney, Riz, and Consola can be just, well, additions to the grid at the moment, even though it's a bit harsh. It's the harsh truth. Until maybe a safety car is gonna be deployed, then they're just gonna be driving for fun, for experience, for whatever they want to label it. But yeah, at the moment they're just gonna be there for like numbers, so that it doesn't actually look like 14 drivers are driving. It's 17. Harsh truth. On the exit of the final corner, and Visibor is gonna have the DRS, and he is using his ERS as well. But One Piece, he's gonna try to defend. No, he doesn't. Visibor takes an easy overtake into turn 1. Behind, no one seems to be overtaking. No one seems to be overtaking. And so the only change in the lead is Visibor overtaking Vampy, but that's going to be a lap on lap occurrence. Whatever. Yeah, that's going to be every lap thing. Maybe Wave is going to try to overtake Visibor on the straight, since he's very close behind Vampy, and Vampy is close behind Visibor. So, you know, maybe something Wave could do in here. Chesney seems to have dropped the DRS, so it's only 12 cars in the DRS. Visibor gets overtaken by Vampy, but aggressively has gone back into the racing line just in front of Wave. That was pretty aggressive. If Wave is gonna report that, then, well, we'll see what's gonna be the decision. But Wave doesn't seem to have any sort of damage at the moment. And now with the DRS again, Visibor doesn't seem to be overtaken, but Wave wants to go for an overtake, maybe double overtake. No, he doesn't. He forces Visibor for an overtake, for these to battle into the first two corners. But somehow these two still stay in the same positions. But those who don't stay in the same positions are Alamine and Drilla. A bit of contact between them. Paul Trent as well fighting, but I want to see this. Drilla trying to go around the outside of Alamine into turn 4. Into turn 5, he's going to have the inside line. They have to think of the DRS into the next cars in front. And Drilla is in front of Alamine. Alex tried to as well himself something to do. Maybe have a go on Alamine, but didn't work out. And so Drilla is in front of Alamine. Trent is behind Clipsy this time. Like, actually behind Clipsy. So, yeah, unfortunately, Trent dropped down the place. Visibor, his softs are already showing the drop on the pace. Wave going a bit wide on the exit of the final corner. Might have gotten a warning there. Visibor is going for it on Vampy. Vampy has just that tad bit more ERS. Paul is getting attacked by Clipsy into the first two corners. And Clipsy is going to be able to get the move done on the inside of turn 3 this time. And they're still side by side going into turn 4. They're still going to be side by side, but not anymore. Clipsy in front of Paul. Beautiful move by Clipsy. But Paul, is he going to try and send it? No, he doesn't. Of course, the gap was 7 tenths. At least it looked like 7 tenths. Now it's 6 tenths. But when you're making a move, especially in the mid pack like Clips and Pole, you have to think of the DRS to the cars in front. You have to make the move successful and to have the DRS as well to the cars in front, so that you can maximize your chances for the best positions. Clips, you almost went into the back of Cialdino. I thought that Clips was fully going into Cialdino, but thankfully just about misses him, or maybe a slight tap on Cialdino, but nothing too big. But now Visibor, with those softs being worn out, he's gonna get overtaken by Vumpy, by Wave, and well, Cialdino is too far back, but he got double overtaken by Vumpy and Wave. Those softs have worn out to the point where their pace aren't good anymore. And yeah, unfortunately for Visibor at the moment, it's not looking good. He might have to go for a very early pit stop to show that he has to pit on his telemetry. No, it doesn't. But yeah, for Visibor, it doesn't look good as of right now. He's losing a bit of pace. Wave and Vumpy are running away with it a bit. Of course, the gap is still 5 tenths, 4.5. Still in that. Cialdino, of course, would want to get in front of Cialdino. Yeah. Behind, nothing much happening. Nothing really happening. They're just DRS training. The DRS in this game is so powerful. Wave, is he gonna want to go for the lead of the Grand Prix? Doesn't seem like it. He's not using ERS. He's just using DRS, but he's going for it down inside. Cialdino is as well trying to go for the move on Visibor. Wave doesn't get the move on Vumpy, but Cialdino, can he get the move on Visibor? He's still side by side with him. They're still fighting side by side through turn 3 and into turn 4. Cialdino, is he going to be in front of him into turn 4? Yes, he does, but Visibor, can he go for the switchback? No, he can't. He is behind Cialdino. And so Visibor loses yet another position, and this is a very clear sign of them softs being pretty worn out now. Their pace have dropped off massively. Them softs aren't really good for like long laps. They are 5 laps and they're like done with the pace. Chimp has gone wider behind, and Alex takes an easy overtake on the exit of turn 9, and he's up to P10. Still within the DRS range on Drilla, so that's lovely for him. Clips a bit messy on the exit. He's 6 tenths back on a Visibor. Behind him, he has already Pole and Trent sniffing his back. Pause. Pole doesn't go for it. He doesn't have ERS. Clipsy neither. Trent would have had the ERS to send it, but he doesn't want to go for it. Meanwhile, behind Taffy and Chesney, who are in their own little box, are fighting for that P13. Of course, Taffy has that 10-second penalty, but of course, a bit of action for them is going to be good. So that what happened to Yinger? He got taken out into just before turn 4 on lap 1. So his race has gone down very quickly. He got taken out. Early, he crashed out. Oh, and there we go. Cialdino in front of Wave. Wave just waved. Cialdino passed him. Cialdino still has a DRS on Vumpy, and this is very much important as well. So that he has a DRS. Of course, he won't be able to overtake Vumpy into turn number 1. Meanwhile, behind TLW going into the pits very early on. Drilla gaining at 3 seconds. But TLW going very earlier than Visibor, who is on the softs, which is very surprising. Trent going in the background, going for the overtake on Drilla, and seems to have a very easy overtake done there. Cialdino catching into Vumpy, of course. Taffy and Chesney again battling. And Taffy is in front of Chesney. Like I said, it's really for nothing. Technically, it's for nothing since Taffy has a 10 second But of course, these are 5 seconds, 6 seconds behind Alemine, and clearly they don't really have the pace to keep up with them. So at least there's some sort of racing for them, and not just driving around in circles alone. Big gap to the car in front and big gap to the car behind. So at least there's something going on between them. Alemine very close behind Chimp. Chimp doesn't seem to have a good pace at the moment. Still in the P10, still within the points range. So that'll be the first point for the prancing horses. Paul going into the pits, Trent and Drilla and Chimp going into the pits. They as well are going earlier to the pits than Visibor, surprisingly. Visibor, in the meantime, overtakes Wave into turn 1, and Cialdino going for the race lead of the Grand Prix. The first lap that he's gonna lead, or the first time that he's gonna lead this race. Of course, those who have pitted have gone for the hard tire. TLW, where is he gonna rejoin? I think he's gonna rejoin between Trilla and Chimp. Let's look at it. Yeah, just between Drilla and Chimp, but he's got that tires nicely warmed up. Can he go for the overtake on Trilla into turn 4, maybe down inside? No, he doesn't want to go for it. He doesn't have that much ERS. Drilla had as well less than TLW, but TLW didn't want to go for it. Has to think about the DRS, of course, to the cars in front, and to the cars like here that are battling, those who still haven't pitted. Let's see, is anyone gonna pit? Vampi's pitting, Visibor's pitting, Eclipsey pitting, Alemine still staying out. Maybe these are gonna pit. Let's see, Taffy not pitting, Chesney not pitting. So Vampi, Visibor. To what tires are you gonna pit? Mediums? To mediums. Okay, pretty interesting. He's doing what Lucas Champion in Tier 2. I actually watched Tier 2 this time. He's trying to do the same what Lucas Champion was doing. Is Clipsy gonna be in front of Trent? Just about in front of Trent. Vampi and Visor easily in front of the cars who have pitted earlier. But Clipsy might... No, he doesn't. Actually, Visibor has overtaken Vampi into turn 4. That could allow Clipsy to get the DRS. Consola into the pits. Lap 13 out of 33. Yeah, but he's trying to do what he couldn't do. He's trying to do what he couldn't do. Wave retiring in the pits. Okay. Retiring in the pits. I was gonna say that the Aston Martins have double stacked, but I guess it doesn't matter since Wave has retired. But anyways, Chesney is in the race lead of the Grand Prix, so he gets his few seconds on the screen. Cialdino is still in the race lead, but these two have been battling a bit too much, and Cialdino has a over 1 second gap on Vampi, and so wait, then Vampi is letting Visipor through. This is even worse for these two. This is even worse. I mean, Visipor, of course, has medium, so you can just fully push on them to get that DRS on Cialdino just by pure pace on the mediums. But because of the pure shenanigans between these two, Cialdino has pulled away 1 second gap on Visipor. Of course, this gap is going down like crazy, so Visipor is gonna get that DRS. Vampi is barely getting that DRS. Clipsy is actually, Vampi could be out of the DRS on Visibor, and he is actually out of the DRS. The DRS detection point is there. Chesney in the pits, but Vampi is out of the DRS on Visibor, and so Visibor at the moment, Chimp 3 seconds, at the moment, this strategy is working out pretty nicely. Meanwhile, behind 2 cars going too wide, that's Trent in front of Clipsy and Drilla in front of Pole. Trent up to P4 and Drilla up to P6. Trent, after his not so good first half of the race, down in P7, he's up to P4 at the moment. Pretty nice race at the moment from him. Chimp looking like he's not gonna score points again in the race. Clipsy trying to defend from Drill, of course. Vumpy has lost the DRS, like I said earlier, and the gap is rising. The gap is rising. That's led through by to let the visitor through. Maybe the game forced him to let him through, but he didn't need to let him through that quickly by, you know, losing so much time. He could have executed better. And as of right now, he's out of the DRS on Visible, but thankfully that the cars behind don't have the DRS. The driver who calls him a fraud. Meanwhile, up front, Cialdino gets overtaken by Visible, who is on the mediums. And Visible takes the lead of the Grand Prix back to himself. He's still on the... Well, at the moment he's on the better tire, but let's see his tires in like 10 laps time. And let's see what his pace is going to be at that point. CLW and Alex fighting for P8. It looks like Alex... Well, they are side by side into turn 5. And Alex, is he going to be in front? Yes, he is. He's in front of TLW. And so Alex is up to P8. Vumpy is just in this weird position that the gap is close to Cialdino and Trent, but he's in the middle of it. Somehow Trent doesn't have the DRS on Vumpy, and Vumpy doesn't have the DRS on Cialdino, which is kind of mad. It's usually the gap would have been already catched up by either Vumpy to Cialdino, or, well, usually it would be Trent catching up to Vumpy, but as well, maybe Vumpy to Cialdino, but at the moment, neither of those two are happening. Cialdino is still behind Visible, who just took the fastest lap of the race. Clipsy in front of Trent going to turn 1. Trilla, is he gonna try to go for the move on Trent? Maybe somewhere? No, he doesn't, it seemed like it. Turn 4 at least, he doesn't. Maybe turn 5. Cheeky dive bomb into there. No, he doesn't. He has, well, he has as well a penalty, so he's not going to be doing much with that one position up. Of course, there's a lot of drivers behind, but they're all pretty tightly packed, so he ain't doing that much as of right now. In front, Cialdini and Visible are still running away from Vumpy. Cialdino is very close behind Visible, so he could maybe think for an overtake. Visible has half of the ERS what Cialdino has. Cialdino, of course, fastest lap of his race, or personal best. He's done a personal best, and Cialdino is up to race lead once again. Meanwhile, behind Trent, overtaking Clipsy. Clipsy has to defend from Drilla now. Somehow Drilla is still there on the outside into turn 3 on the inside. Drilla is there. Paul as well could be looking at it. Could be looking for a cheeky move. Let's go with Paul on his POV. Is he gonna try to go for a cheeky switchback? No, he doesn't. Seems like Drilla is in front, but Paul is sending a late one into turn 5, and Paul doesn't manage to get that move done on Clipsy. Clipsy had a better exit, and so Paul has to settle for 7th at the moment, and Clipsy for 6th as Drilla has overtaken him. Drilla yet again out of the track. That would probably be yet another warning. Paul trying to defend from Alex on the inside, and Paul is still in front of Alex. Clipsy not looking like he's got to that much of that in good pace. He's a bit struggling, it seems like. 7 tenths to Drilla. He still has a DRS. Paul and Clipsy have pretty much similar amount of ERS. Alex has got more of that ERS. Alex trying to go around the outside of Paul into turn 1. He's going to be on the outside. Into turn 2, he's going to be on the inside. But does he have the room? No, he doesn't. He's not even close there to even try to get that room. And so Paul is still in front of Alex. And Clipsy is still in front of Paul. In front, Visible and Chaldino have changed positions yet again. Trent still in front of Drilla, but for Trent probably doesn't matter which way it's going to be at the moment. Drilla still has that 3-second time penalty. The same with Champ, who is officially outside of the top 10. Got overtaken by Alamine, who might get the DRS. No, he doesn't actually get that DRS, but if the cars in front are going to be fighting like this, then he could get that DRS. He could be back to fight for those top positions. I'm going to be more focusing on this battle since, well, these are just going to be changing positions. Chaldino going for the move on Visible, and Chaldino is in front. Is any of these drivers going to be going for the overtakes? Alex is trying to go for it on the inside of Paul. Paul giving him a little bit of a notch. Alex on the inside, but Paul trying to hang around the outside now on the inside of turn 2 and into turn 3 now. He's still in front of Alex. Alex trying to throw hands at Paul, but Paul is defending like crazy. On the inside, Paul is trying to defend, and now on the outside, Paul seems to be lost it on the exit a bit. And Alex has the better exit. Paul might have sends a bit of a notch towards Alex, but anyways, Alex has finally got himself in front of Paul, and so he's up to P7, Paul down in P8. Alex doesn't have that much ERS anymore, of course, but now he can regain that ERS. Paul a bit messy on the exit of turn 11, turn 10 and 11. Yeah. These are just going to be, again, changing position. Visible going for the lead on Chaldino. Nothing too crazy. And Drilla going for it on Trent, finally. Drilla up to P4. Maybe behind. Paul maybe getting overtaken by TLW. No, he doesn't. Mino behind Chimp. Overtaking Alamine into turns 1 and 2. And so he's up to P10. But, again, he's got that 3-second time penalty. And so, well, yeah, it's for Ferrari. It's not looking great. This start to the season doesn't look great at all. This season doesn't look to be starting well at all. It hasn't started well at all for them. As of right now, there'll be four races out of 4 without any points. Froggle getting a 3-second time penalty, but he's down in 12th with 10 seconds behind to Alamine. Constela's just driving. Chesney Miss is just driving. Taffy, Chesney, Froggle, they're just driving. The main attraction is, of course, down at the top. Up in the top. On the top. Whatever. Chaldino in front of Visible. Mino behind Calypsy trying to go for it on Trent into turn number 1, and he does get that move done. And so Trent has dropped yet another position. This time behind Calypsy. Now he has the second. Well, he is now in the McLaren sandwich between Calypsy and Alex. Alex, of course, is trying to go for a cheeky move. Alex has got more ERS than Trent. Trent still has pretty decent amount of ERS, but Alex has got double that. Alamon is as well in front of Chimp, who's gone over the sausage group on the exit of turn 7 into turn 8. Vampy's just driving. Really, at the moment, he's just... well, he has to watch out for his track limits at the moment. That's the only thing that he can really do. There's nothing that the Vampy can do at the moment. The Visible might pray that the Visible's tires are gonna go and that's it. Yeah. In front, Clipsy, is he gonna be going for the move on Drilla into turn 1? Yes, he does go for it. And he's up to P4 in front of this whole train. And nothing else has happened. Behind as well, Alemán and Chimp stayed the same. Szczesny has the DRS on Froggle, but he's too far back as of right now to make a move. But honestly, you can't really say anything about these two, anything bad, like anything bad. Chaldino having a slide into turn 7 and on the exit of turn 7. But yeah, honestly, between these two, you can't really say anything wrong. Chaldino is back to his form, what he was shining. Season 4, I believe. I believe Season 4, because Season 5... Yeah, Season 4, because Season 5 was DC. Season 6 was Visselbor. Season 7 was then F1 Lightning. And yeah, so he's back. The Season 4 champion is back. And Chaldino is back in front of Visselbor yet again. Behind, Drilla going for it. On Eclipse, Trent could be as well going for it. On Eclipse into turn 1. And it's still there, bit of contact, and there goes damage to Alex. Alex has damage to his front wing, getting caught up in that battle, and unfortunately he has damage. Alex unfortunately has damage. I'm completely I don't know what am I trying to say even. There was contact between Eclipse and Trent. Trent came out. Well, he had to correct the slide that Eclipse forced him to have a slide. Yeah, and Alex unfortunately didn't have enough time to react and went into the back of Trent. Has damage, and that's Alex's race there. Is he gonna go into the pits? No, he doesn't. He's trying to stay there. At least he's building a gap for his teammates, so that at least he's gonna finish at least on track P6, but after penalties it's gonna be at least P5. TLW and Trent in front of Alex, and now TLW and Trent getting a double overtake. TLW stays technically in the same position, and Alex has dropped 2 positions. Honestly, Alex can't really do anything about at the moment. Froggle and Szczesny are fighting like crazy as well. Well, not really crazy. They're fighting as well. Froggle, since like lap 1, he's on those hards. Lap 1? Yeah, lap 1. He's still from lap 1 on those tires, while Szczesny has 13 lap younger tires, so yeah, Froggle is trying to do something crazy in here. These are fighting as well. They've been fighting for a long time for that top 10 on track. And Chimp in front of Alemán. Alemán is getting that switchback though, and he doesn't. He's trying to go around the outside. It would be a very good move by Alemán, but he does get shoved off track by Chimp. But now he's gonna get the DRS onto the start-finish straight. Mino in front, and nothing really much happening. Visible still in front of Chaldino. Clipsy, nothing. No, nothing. So these are fighting, and well, Alemán gets easy overtake on Chimp, and Alemán is in front of Chimp, just like that. Szczesny is quite far behind Froggle. He's lost a bit of time through that, through the second sector and third. It seemed like now he's back to that gap. Yeah. Yeah. At the moment, nothing much really happening. Well, of course, after that contact between Trent, Calypsy and Alex, so Calypsy is trying to go for it on Drilla into turn 10, and he gets a move on Drilla into turn 10, but is that move a bit early? Because if the gap stays the same with Drilla, he's gonna drop down behind Drilla immediately, Paul a bit too far back, though, to go for a move, so Clipsy is gonna at the moment stay in P5. Alex going into the pits, and is that gonna be a race end to Alex? He's not retired yet, but Ferrari, the prancing horses, could get 1 point in this race somehow, because Chimp has 3 seconds time penalty, yes, but Froggle and Chesney, who doesn't have a penalty, is 11 seconds behind Alemine, and at the moment, well, it'll be 8 seconds between Chimp and Chesney, roughly 8 seconds, probably more than 9, but anyways, Chimp would get that 1 point for Ferrari because of Alex pitting now, and so yeah, Chimp and Ferrari would get their first points of the season if it finishes like this. Clipsy and Drill are still changing places into turn 11 yet again, but this time Paul is a lot closer to Driller and Clipsy, so he maybe could go for an overtake. He doesn't have that much ERS though to go for the move. Clipsy has a lot of ERS to defend with, so Clipsy gets overtaken by Driller. Paul, no, he's too far back. He's way too far back to go for the overtake on Clipsy. Alemine overtaking Chimp, like that. Yeah, the gap between Chimp and Chesney is 12 seconds, roughly 12 seconds. He's now gonna get overtaken by Froggle. Yes, he does get overtaken by Froggle, and he's down to P12. Alex, of course, is trying to maybe take a fastest lap away from Visilbor. That would be probably the only thing that he can do for himself, just have that fastest lap. And so yeah, Clipsy is he gonna try and do it again? No, he doesn't. Paul is getting better and better, it seems like, by the laps going. Meanwhile in front, Visilbor, it might look like Visilbor's tires are wearing out now, because the gap just about was inside of that 1 second. Visilbor just about got that DRS, and so he maybe could lose that DRS, and Cialdino could go for an easy victory here in Spain. Meanwhile, up, down in 4th place, Clipsy in front of Driller. Paul still behind Driller, but Trent has caught up to Paul. He's back into this contention for that P4. TLW as well, it is for a contention for that. Alex easily falls up 13.309. Meanwhile behind Alemine, behind Chimp, and Chesney in front of Froggle. But Visilbor still has a DRS on Cialdino. But that last lap, it looked like he could have lost a DRS. He's still within it. It's 8 tenths. It's still 8 tenths. His pace has definitely dropped off, but it's not, the pace hasn't dropped up enough so that he would lose the DRS on Cialdino. He's still there. Clipsy though is losing plenty of places, and he's spun on the exit of turn 12. He could have gotten a, probably, well, at least a P5, maybe P6, but he has got front wing damage to his car, and that's a double trouble for McLaren. Both of them could be ending up outside of the top 10, and this is even better news for Chim, because maybe instead of 1 point, they'll be getting 2 points. Paul up to P4. Drilla is fighting with Trent. Trent is behind Drilla, and well, this is looking good for Paul now, because beginning of qualifying it looked absolutely terrible. Then he got P6, then he was around that DRS train, in this rough DRS train. Trent getting attacked by TLW, and those will lose the DRS once again. TLW in front of Trent, but they will lose yet again the DRS to now the 2 cars in front. And so Paul could be going for an easy P4 at the moment. Drilla still has that 3 seconds. And yeah, Drilla would be looking like he'll be getting P5, P7. after penalties. Cialdino still has that Chimp getting a 3-second time penalty, so at least he's going to be finishing P10. I highly doubt that Clips is going to pit now. Drilla getting an easy overtake on Paul, and Trent easy overtake on TLW as well. Clipsy, is he going to get overtaken by Alemán? No, he doesn't. Chimp, is he going to send it down his side on Alemán? Yes, he does, into turn 1. Massive send by him. And, well, a bit elbows out there between them two. Yellow flags, that's Kosla spun. But the safety car won't be out. It is too late. But Chimp elbows out on Alemán, a bit pushing him a bit onto the off-track bit. But he's in front of Alemán. Yeah, he's really trying to get in front of Clipsy, but at the moment he doesn't look like that he has the pace even to catch up to Clipsy. Inside to his 7/10 even. So yeah, Vampy is just easing off a bit. The gap is just easing. Penultimate lap of the race. Visibor still has that DRS on Cialdino, but he doesn't have almost any ERS in his tank. Cialdino has a lot of ERS. He can just deploy this lap, and Visibor is not going to have any sort of answer to that whatsoever. Yellows, that's Taffy behind. Chimp overtaken easily. Clipsy, he's still there. He's still there. Alemán is as well still there. These three are going very close. These three are very close. So Alemán, is he going to go for it on a Clipsy? Clipsy is going to hang it around the outside, but of course he has that front wing damage, and with that reduced downforce, it seems like he's going to have to settle for 10th as of right now. But it probably is going to be P9 since, he's going to be inside of that Chimp's 6 seconds. To the top now. Cialdino is, he's even pulled away from Visibor's 1 second. And so Cialdino is going to just have 1 lap to go for his first victory since Season 4, probably. His first race, his first victory since Season 4. And it's Season 8 now, so it took him almost 4 seasons, roughly about there somewhere. Behind Drilla in for a pole, but for pole doesn't really matter that much. It matters to be in front of Trent, to get that P4. Alex 3-second time penalty, so he's gonna be probably still behind Chesney. These drivers, Alemán is in front of Chimp. Clipsy is just driving in here. Visibor's time is, his gap to Cialdino is increasing lap by lap, even corner by corner, but it's nothing for Visibor to worry about. It's mainly about his tire wear, probably, and his tires look fine at the moment, at least. Yeah, they look fine, but Cialdino, this final 2 corners he can enjoy to his absolute fullest. No pressure from behind anymore. Through the final corner, a lapped car in front, but he takes his first win of HOR Tier 1 since Season 4. Cialdino takes victory in Spain in the Spanish Grand Prix. Visibor finishing P2, doing what a Lucas champion couldn't do in Tier 2. Vampy finishing P4, Paul P4, Trent P5, TLW P6, Drilla P7, Alemán P8. Chimp is gonna bring Prancing Horses their first points of the season. Yes, it is that 1 singular point, but 1/0 is always the answer. Almost. Chesney in P11, Alex P12, Taffy P13, Froggle 14, Chesney 15th, and Konsla 16th. These drivers didn't have their grace of lucks. And then it's going to be Wave and Younger Boy as well for Aston Martin. A huge amount of points for them, because they were sitting with 5 points in like P8, P9. They had the same amount of points as Sauber. But now, 25 points for Aston Martin. And as well, good amount of points for Sauber. Ferrari are going to be way back. But they got a point. And as of right now, it is looking like four different winners in the first opening races. Now this is the same as last season as well. Driver of the day, apparently Drilla. I mean, to be fair, Drilla has had an amazing race, even though he started last and has had that penalty. He had a very good... Oh, okay, we skipped that because it looks fair. That celebration looks weird with that world map. Yeah, even though Drilla had that 3 seconds and finished in P7, I think he's one of the contenders for the driver of the day. From last to 7th after penalties, but he finished like P4, P5 in the end. So very good race from him. TLW as well in there. Cialdini, of course, in there. Visibor probably in there as well with his offset. But yeah, those are going to be the championship, driver of the day nominees. Yeah, Cialdini winning his first Grand Prix since Season 4. Visibor in P2, Vampy P3. Visibor just catching up to Vamp. And Visibor extends his championship lead by 3 points. I thought it was the other way around, but I don't know. I'm confusing those two so much. But yeah, Cialdini, like I said, winning his first Grand Prix since Season 4. Visibor extending his championship lead over Vampy. Clipsy is probably going to drop back a bit. Behind... Well, actually behind no one, since Sir Nikolai didn't drive. Yangaboy didn't finish. Paul only P4, so yeah, he's going to stay in 3rd at the moment, even though he got 2 points. Yeah, big influx of points for Aston Martin. Last week it was for Mercedes, because last time Mercedes before Austria had only 7 points. Now they have 34 after Austria. Now Aston Martin, Imola 0, Canada 3, Austria 2 points, and now 25 points is going to bring them to 30 points. Sauber is going to be the second last team, but they got as well a pretty good result from TLW with his 6th position, which means 8 points, and so they're going to be in the double digits. Ferrari finally points. Yeah, I just confirm, yes. We are as well in our 4th different race winner. It was Visibor, Vampy, Paul, and now it is Cialdini. Next week is gonna be Belgium, Spa-Francorchamps, the circuit that has been hosting forever the F1 races. Of course, many famous corners there. The longest track on the F1 calendar with the least amount of laps, of course. Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah. Honestly, I have nothing as much to say really at the moment. Yeah, see you next week in Spa-Francorchamps next week. No sprint, thankfully. Ciao.